Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about how to upgrade your mini RC crawler in 5 steps. This is going to be for beginners or people who are thinking about getting into the hobby. Um, these are pretty awesome things. I mean, there's unlimited parts, unlimited upgrades out there, and I'll go through some of those parts and the different applications that you use for as I go through the steps of the video. I race this thing or comp it about once or twice a month at a place called Flightcraft in Kitchener, Ontario. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. If you're looking to buy one of these buggies, I suggest hitting them up. You can order stuff from online. I'll leave a link in the description down below for them. I've seen people struggle with upgrades, and I've struggled myself. And that's the reason why I decided to make this video of how to upgrade your mini RC crawler in 5 steps. So the first step, I believe, into upgrading one of these things, and the first step is going to be your steering servo under here. And the reason why I think that should be your first step is if you add any weight to these things, you add tires or bead locks, brass, it's going to be too much for that little plastic servo and all those little plastic gears that are in there. So I suggest going with a metal aftermarket servo, something that's waterproof if you're going through the water. There's different kgs of servo, which is different amounts of pressure, steering pressure, pounds. I got a 7 kg steering servo in here, and I had these 68 millimeter tires on here before, and I mean, it turned them just fine. So 7 kg should be good for one of these little mini crawlers. I mean, if you're going to add a lot of weight to it, you might want to go a little bit heavier duty. And you can get brass ones, keep more weight on the front end. You buy some of these aftermarket steering servos, and they come with parts. Like this is the plastic TRX one that came off of it. I bought I think this is from the Meus one. I bought a Meus axle. It came with a metal one. You can get them, like I've got an Injora and Meus servo mount. So this one's brass, this one's aluminum. I mean, the possibilities are endless out there. You get a lay down steering servos like I have in here. It's going to be kind of really hard to see, but it's laying down here, and it's got the different steering linkages because it doesn't take these ones. It takes a different type of steering mechanism for the lay down steering servo. So that brings me to step number 2. Step number 2 now would be your rims and tires. And now that you won't have to worry about burning out your steering servo. It's a good time to add some tires for traction, different sizes. These are my 68 millimeter DJ crawler tires. They worked pretty good. They got the brass beadlock rims. These are the factory tires that came on. This used to be a high trail pickup truck, K10, and now it's my Meus Ripper. There's not much factory left on it. I almost got enough parts to rebuild my high trail, and I'm planning on doing that. And I might do a video on that, depending on the responses I get on this video. These are just these tires are actually pretty good tires that came on the high trail. When I got my aftermarket tires, so these are 65 millimeters on here. I think the factory ones here are 65 as well. Yeah, 65. So what I did is I had 2 sets of foams. I had a hard foam and a soft foam from the 68s, and I put the soft foam in here on the 65s, and I glued it around with some contact cement, and it held together pretty good. I mean, it's got foams, it's squishy. It ended up making these tires perform a lot better. But going back to the tires, you get different tires, different sizes, different tread pattern. You get, like I said, on-road, off-road, mud, dirt, the pin tires, which I have here. These pin tires were great for competition. I mean, they're actually called comp pins, so it was a night and day difference from what I was running before. So when it comes to wheels and tires, you really have to do some research of what kind of size or what kind of build you want to do in the first place. If you want to go competition, or if you want to go like through mud or whatever they did, and that will basically swing you to what kind of parts you want to buy for your build. When I built my high trail, I had one of the issues where I went through burning out my steering servo, and then I put 2 big tires on, and sure enough, that I had cut out my wheel wells because these big DJ Crawler 68 millimeter tires wouldn't fit in. And then you can get like foams for the inside of these. There's a bunch of different types of foams, whether to make them harder, stiffer, softer, and depending on your application. If you're going to go like do trails, you might want a bit of a stiffer tire. If you're going off-road, like a pretty aggressive terrain, you might want to have a soft foam in there and give you a little bit more traction. Now, to talk about the rims, you can get, like I said, to keep the factory rims, I suggest speed locks, otherwise your tire is going to slide around the rim. You can get aluminum, you can get brass. I personally like the brass speed locks. It keeps a lot of weight down low, so it helps you preventing from rolling over. Like I said, with these brass speed locks, these tires here have a -4, I believe, offset, which will basically means it give you a wider stance on your vehicle, where a positive stance will bring your wheels underneath your wheel well a bit more. And a 0 is just a balanced look. It keeps it just like your factory rim. So these bead locks here are a 0 balance. Which I wanted because these ones stuck out, made it a little bit wider, and I was having problems making it through the gates where I was comping. So these are good wheels, but they would work in an SCX 24. The TX4M, it's a little bit bigger. I needed to keep my wheelbase in a little bit more. So now I want to talk about step 3, which is drivetrain. Drivetrain is a pretty exciting step. It's one of the more costly, more expensive steps. The one thing I do have to say, if you're going to go and do the transmission or crawler gears, go full metal right away. Prevent yourself from having any issues, because these plastic parts snap with the path of least resistance. So if you put crawler gears in the transmission and in the diffs, you're going to start snapping drive shafts. The cheap way of going about it is just obviously get the metal drive shafts, and then you can go with the transmission gears. You can get a rebuild kit. Hobby Park sells one. I think a lot of the competitors sell the rebuild kits. I got the Hobby Park one, and basically it comes with the brass C-hubs, the brass diff covers, and I put in metal crawling gears into these ones, and they worked pretty good. These are the Traxxas axles. It's hard to see on there, but the Traxxas axle actually has a slight bow to it, from the weight, because it's plastic. So I went with the Meus, being a Meus ripper. I got the Meus axles on here, and they work really good. I got the Injora drive shafts. I got a 180 tooth brushed motor with a metal transmission. I bought that in the combo. These are the Traxxas plastic transmissions that come with it, and you start adding weight to these and gears and stuff. These plastic gears in here just get eaten up and destroyed. So yeah, it's a good idea to get at least metal gears into this box. I have metal gears in this one. Like I said, I ended up buying an Injora 180 tooth motor, so I took this one out. This one's just sitting aside now until I can rebuild my old high trail. The other thing I want to talk about is this is another time too where if you want to upgrade one of these, and in your C-hubs and stuff, you've got these brass bushings here. I don't know if you can see that. It's brass bushings in there. You want to go to bearings, sealed bearings. And these sealed bearings work really good. So like anything else, these things are maintenance. You have to take them apart periodically, clean them up, grease them. If you put grease in bearings, it not only helps, like I said, being sealed, helps keep water out and dirt, but it helps everything move freer. These come with brass bushings, so they're in the transmission and in the axles. A good thing to do is just, if they don't come with sealed bearings, to go out and buy a sealed bearing kit, put them in there, and that'll help the longevity and keep everything moving a lot freer and easier. Help prevent from binding. The bushings, it lets water and dirt in and then slowly just grinds away, and you keep eating through bushings, especially if you go through dirt. And sand's pretty bad for it too. It's like sandpaper. It's like taking a grinding wheel to metal. So now I want to talk about step 4. Step 4, I believe, would be suspension. And the reason why I think suspension should be step 4 is because now you've added all your weight where you want to. You got bigger tires. If you do suspension earlier, you're going to have to keep playing with it and like getting your vehicle to sit right. And I think at this time, you've pretty much got everything figured out and how you want to build it. Once again, these factory shocks are plastic. They're okay for what they are. They'll get you through, but these are too stiff to begin with. I mean, if you're just running it up and down the road or trail, they'll be fine. But the thing with these shocks is they're too stiff. Like I said, if you buy aftermarket shocks, if depending on what you're doing, if you want to go comping or up rocks or steep trains or whatever, I suggest a really thin oil. The rebound on these, you want a pretty soft spring. The spring, it basically keeps your vehicle sitting up off of the vehicle. So the higher it sits, the more center of gravity, the higher center of gravity, I should say, and it's going to cause you to tip over. The other thing with these is the rebound. A thicker oil is going to cause the rebound to go really slow. And if you're going over like nooks and crannies or whatever, like you want to talk about dips, and if this doesn't rebound fast enough, it's going to cause you to roll over or a really rough ride. So I suggest taking some of the oil out of these. If you're running a comp rig, I would just cut the spring or remove the spring completely. I've removed the spring off of mine and eliminated a lot of the oil. So I have actually no suspension on it right now, but I get the maximum allowed drop so I can keep traction and when I'm off-roading. The other thing I want to talk about is the links. So I went with brass high clearance links. You can see them here. They got a high bend to it. I'll show you. You can see them in there. They work really well. They help get over obstacles and stuff. The brass helps keep more weight down low. Like I said, you want a bit of weight to keep you down. Some guys say they don't like a lot of weight. Like I said, depends on your build, how you want to build it. Being a comp rig, this so far is the best that's ever worked for me with this setup, and I just thought I would share it with you guys. So now I want to talk to you about step 5. Step 5 is electronics, and that's basically your motor, your ESCs, whatever electronics you want to put into it. It's because you kind of have it built the way you want now, and you have an idea what you want to do with it. A lot of guys like to go brushless at this point. I will eventually go brushless. I haven't got there yet. I mean, the sky's the limit with electronics. I mean, you can go. Fury Tech's got a nice setup. They go with the Bluetooth app. You can adjust throttle curves and all that kind of stuff. Injora's got one, a cheaper one, called the Viper Max. I might go the Viper Max route. I'm not sure yet. Eventually, I have the idea of maybe doing about 4-wheel steer in this. And then there's remotes. I mean, remotes can be cheap ones like this. The one mine came with. Traxxas TQI. It's a basic controller. It does the job. I'm gonna have to upgrade it though if I do 4-wheel steering. There's a bunch of remotes out there. If you want to go with the cheap ones, it's fine. The medium the road, you got the NB4 Plus from FlySky. You got the RadioLink RCX8. If you wanted to go like top of the line remotes, you could go to a FlySky NB4 Pro or a Futaba PX10, I believe it's called. And Spectrum's got actually a really nice remote out there now. It's all Bluetooth and hooks up to Wi-Fi. It's got a nice screen to it. I forget the name of that one, but it's new on the market and it's pretty neat. Full color display, touchscreen. A lot of the new remotes have touchscreens on them, and you can do a lot of the like throttle curves and adjustments to your vehicle right from your remote now, which is awesome. So that's my video on upgrading your mini RC crawler in 5 steps. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you, this is my first video I've put out on one of these things. If you like it, please like and subscribe. If I get enough interest, I'll probably end up doing a few more videos. Like I said, I want to do 4-wheel steer on this, upgrade my remote, maybe eventually get another one of these and I'll do it up. I'd try my hands at one of those Axial SCX 24s. They're pretty neat little rigs. I see Red Cat's got some new mini RC stuff out there, which is pretty cool. Not to mention that if you guys are looking to, like I said, new in the hobby and looking to somewhere to start out, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. Check out Adam from Capecrawlers, the Shop Mini RC. Those are some pretty good guys to watch. There's a guy out there called the Pissedrhino. He does a lot of these Meus with 4-wheel steer builds. I go check them out. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.